I would dress up as Captain Kirk, and I would walk around with my phaser, and I'd have my communicator, and I couldn't believe that I was actually in a place where I could go, Kirk here. Yes, Mr. Spock, beam me up. And nobody cared. You know what I mean? I fit in. How cool was that, right? The other, 363 days of the year, it was like, is that kid wearing a Star Trek shirt? What a freak, And I would even, you guys, I would wear like windbreakers, and I would sew the insignia on the inside of the windbreaker because I wanted so much. You know what I'm saying? It was bursting to get out how much I loved Star Trek, but I didn't want to be made fun of. So I had this windbreaker that on the outside, you couldn't see it, looked like a normal windbreaker. But like when I would meet like a friend who was a fan or something, I'd go, yo. I'm serious, you guys. I'm serious. Does somebody want to test me? Ask me a question about the original series. Yes?
What was the name of the pizza monster?
There was no pizza monster. Oh, you mean the Horta? Ha! Oh wait, I'll go you one better. The planet was Janus 6. It was a mining planet.
What episode was it?
Devil in the Dark was the name of the episode. Wait a minute. Chief Vandenberg was the head of the mining facility. How about that? And when they took a chunk out of it, they beamed Dr. McCoy down with some concrete, and he troweled it into the wound until it healed, because it was a silicon-based creature. That's why it was able to live in solid rock, and it ate its way through rock. And the only reason that it got angry was because it was living in the lower levels of this planet, and when the miners broke into the nursery area where these eggs had been laid, the mother got angry. See, I'm telling you. You know what's crazy? It was 30 friggin' years ago. Sometimes I think to myself, I could be a flippin' genius if I got rid of all the useless information that is in my brain that I'll never use. Oh my gosh, yeah. So you see my point. I loved it, and I still do. And I've gotten some really neat Star Trek opportunities lately that maybe I'll tell you about later on. But my point is, Star Trek for me lit a fire in my creativity. I would sit every day at 5 o'clock on NBC in Pittsburgh after school. I had a little portable, literally like 19-inch portable black and white TV, and it sat on the floor in the living room, and I would lay on the floor. I'd get all ready at like 4:45, and I would lay out cardboard and construction paper and glue and tape and all this kind of stuff, and I would watch Star Trek, and I would build phasers and communicators, and I would watch, and I would like try to cut out the insignia out of foil to just the right shape, because and everybody thinks it looks like this, right? In reality, it has a little bit of a curve, okay? And these 2 points are not even. One's smaller, one's bigger. Little things like that. I just loved it. Just like you. Just like you guys. And for you, it's anime. I praise that. I welcome that. I think it's awesome. Whatever it is that sparks your passion and your creativity is awesome. So I don't even know how I got on that topic. It was off of a question, I'm quite sure. But I know it was. What was the question? Was it you that asked? Yeah, it was Full Metal. She was asking about why do you think it impacts people. And you know what? I'm going to end this question with an amazing story. I was in New York at a convention, and a girl came up to me. Caitlin Glass, who plays Winry, and Laura Bailey, who plays Lust, and Colleen Klinkenbeard, who plays Hawkeye. We were sitting at an autograph table, and the table was on a stage. So here's the table, and people would walk across in front of the table, and all you could see was like this much of the people because we were on a stage. This girl came up to me and she said, I just want to tell you how much Full Metal impacted me. It got me through such a difficult time in my life, and I really felt like I connected to Ed. I really identified with Ed. And I was thinking in the back of my mind, how in the world would this 20-some-year-old girl connect to Ed, who's like a 15-year-old boy? I was trying to imagine. And then finally, she was in tears by the end of what she was saying. And she said, you know what? I don't even care if my mom gets mad. Will you sign this for me? And I was like, what? Sign what? And she walked around the side of the stage and she had a prosthetic leg. She had lost her leg in an accident. Automail. And I was like, we were bawling. I was like, I'm hitting Caitlin, and we're all listening to this girl. And we knelt down there like in tears and signed her prosthetic leg. Now, who would ever have imagined when we were recording this cartoon, you know, whoever would ever imagine that somebody would go through such a traumatic experience, it was a car accident or something where she lost her leg, and that this show that was just meant to be entertaining would end up being so helpful and help somebody get through such a difficult time. But that's just one story. You guys, there are tens of thousands of those stories. And not just Full Metal, but tons of other shows. So I'm going to go back and say, I am so grateful to God for the chance to do what I do. Because we don't get paid a lot of money, I promise you that. Voice actors don't make a lot of money at all. But I don't even care about that, quite honestly. If I could make enough money in anything else to make a living, to survive, I would still do anime. I would still voice for free. Because I love what I do. I've said before, and if you've watched YouTube videos, this will sound like repetition, but I'll open my mailbox and I'll be like, ooh, a check from Funimation. That's right, I get paid for this. Even now.
Sorry.
My sentiments exactly. You know, I mean, it's like I still, even after all these years, I kind of get a little, pinch of reality that I actually, get paid to do something that I love so much. So, okay, question. I'm sorry. I'm answering long, and I'm sorry about that.